Picture this. You're sitting across from him, sharing laughs and exchanging glances, thinking this might just be it, the connection you've been waiting for. But days pass and his enthusiasm wanes. Suddenly, he's not texting back as quickly. You wonder, what happened? Here's a little-known truth about attraction. It's not about perfection. It's not about doing everything right or being everything society tells you to be. It's about making a man feel something powerful, something that lingers. And here's where it gets interesting. Most women believe they need to prove their worth to a man, but the most magnetic women do the opposite. They create a dynamic where he wants to prove himself to them. The secret lies in understanding one simple principle. Attraction thrives on tension and discovery. And this is where the magic happens. It's not manipulation. It's about unlocking a part of his psyche that even he doesn't fully understand. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do that. So let's dive into the moves that will make him not just notice you, but remember you. Move number 1, the effort mirror. One of the most powerful yet underused techniques is what I call the effort mirror. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about creating a balanced exchange of energy. Think of relationships like a dance. If one partner does all the work, the rhythm breaks. The same goes for attraction. Here's how it works. Match his level of effort. If he's initiating conversations, reciprocate with enthusiasm. But if he's pulling back, don't chase. Instead, lean into your own life, your passions, your goals, your friendships. This subtle shift signals self-respect, and nothing is more alluring than someone who doesn't overextend to seek validation. Psychological studies have shown that humans value what they work for. When you mirror his effort instead of overcompensating, you're creating a dynamic where he feels invested in earning your attention. An investment breeds attraction. Move number 2, the unexpected pause. Here's a twist. Silence can be your greatest tool. Most people fear silence in conversations, rushing to fill it with words, but the most confident people know how to use silence to their advantage. Let's say you're talking to him, and he asks you a question about your weekend. Instead of immediately answering, pause. Hold his gaze for a second longer than feels comfortable, then smile. This creates what psychologists call positive tension, a moment of intrigue that keeps him engaged. The science backs this up. According to a study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, pauses in conversations signal confidence and composure, traits universally associated with attraction. More importantly, the silence forces him to lean in, literally and emotionally, because his brain craves closure. Use this to your advantage. Move number 3, strategic vulnerability. Here's something counterintuitive. Being vulnerable doesn't make you weak. It makes you magnetic, if done right. But here's the key. It's not about oversharing. It's about sharing the right moments that create an emotional bridge between you and him. For instance, instead of saying, "I've been hurt before, so I have trust issues," frame it as, "I've learned to value relationships where I feel safe and appreciated because of what I've experienced." This approach subtly communicates your standards while drawing him closer. Research shows that vulnerability fosters intimacy, but only when paired with confidence. If you're clear about your worth and your boundaries, sharing a glimpse of your inner world becomes a powerful tool for connection. This is just the beginning. In the next segment, we'll explore how to leverage psychological principles like reward anticipation and visual association to make him think about you even when you're not around. These are the moves that go beyond surface-level attraction and tap into something deeper. Stay tuned for the next part. It's where the real magic happens. Move number 4, the reward loop. Think about the apps you can't seem to put down. Instagram, TikTok, or even your favorite games. What keeps you hooked? It's the anticipation of a reward. Psychologists call this variable reinforcement, and it's a principle rooted in how our brains are wired. The same concept can apply to relationships. When you always respond to texts immediately, always say yes to plans, or always act predictably, you're removing the element of anticipation. To create a reward loop, start mixing it up. Respond at different intervals, not to play games, but to reflect the natural ebb and flow of a busy, fulfilling life. For example, if he texts you, don't feel obligated to reply within 5 minutes every time. Sometimes, take your time. When he does get your attention, make it meaningful. Share a funny story or a thoughtful observation that makes him feel rewarded for the interaction. This unpredictability keeps him intrigued because he never quite knows when the next reward is coming. A study published in Frontiers in Psychology showed that anticipation of rewards activates the brain's dopamine system, which is directly tied to desire. By introducing small moments of unpredictability, you create a cycle where he associates you with excitement and emotional highs. Move number 5, the art of visual anchoring. Here's a concept you won't hear often: visual anchoring. This is about creating a strong positive association between you and specific sensory cues, like a scent, a look, or even a particular way you move. Why? Because men, like all humans, are heavily influenced by visual and sensory triggers. For example, let's say you have a signature scent. Every time you're around him, you subtly reinforce that scent. Over time, his brain begins associating the smell with your presence, creating a subconscious anchor. But this doesn't stop at perfume. It could be the way you tilt your head when you're listening intently, the soft color palette of your clothing, or the way you always laugh just a beat longer than expected. These small, consistent cues create an emotional imprint. Here's how you can amplify this. Choose a specific, eye-catching detail that becomes yours. Maybe it's a red scarf you wear occasionally, or a pair of earrings that always spark compliments. Over time, these visual anchors make you stand out in his memory, especially in a sea of other faces and experiences. Move number 6, the emotional callback. Ever noticed how songs from your teenage years can still make you emotional? That's the power of callbacks. They tap into a memory and amplify its emotional resonance. You can use this concept to strengthen your connection with him. Let's say you share a moment of laughter over something quirky, like an inside joke about how neither of you can parallel park. Later, bring it up again in a playful way. "I had a parking adventure today. Wish you'd been there to supervise." This small callback creates a sense of shared history, even in a short time. Research in Social Psychology Quarterly shows that shared memories, even lighthearted ones, foster feelings of closeness. The more callbacks you create, the more he feels like your connection is unique, a storyline he's invested in and wants to continue. Move number 7, the energy shift. Here's where things get really interesting. Most women believe they need to be consistently bubbly, agreeable, or on to maintain a man's interest. But what really captures attention is the ability to shift your energy in a way that keeps him intrigued. For instance, imagine starting an interaction with playful teasing and laughter. Then, midway through, lower your voice, lean in slightly, and share something reflective or serious. The sudden change in tone creates a contrast that hooks his attention on a deeper level. Why does this work? Neuroscience tells us that our brains are wired to notice change, whether it's a change in sound, light, or energy. By shifting your demeanor, you're subtly signaling, "Pay attention. This moment matters." This technique not only keeps him engaged, but also communicates emotional depth and versatility. Move number 8, the empowered goodbye. Let's talk about endings, because how you leave a moment can be just as powerful as how you begin it. Instead of lingering or waiting for him to initiate the close, take charge. If you're on a date and the energy feels right, end it on a high note by saying something like, "This has been fun. I need to get going, but let's do this again soon." This accomplishes 2 things. First, it leaves him wanting more, creating a sense of anticipation for the next time. Second, it signals that you have a life beyond him, a quality that's irresistibly attractive. According to a study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people are more likely to remember the end of an experience than the middle. By leaving on your own terms, you're ensuring that the final impression he has of you is one of confidence and control. These moves are just the beginning of what it means to become truly magnetic. In the final segment, we'll explore how to tap into his subconscious desires, create a connection that feels effortless, and become the woman he can't stop thinking about, even when you're not around. Move number 9, the dream plant technique. If you've ever caught yourself daydreaming about someone, you know how powerful those moments can be. The dream plant technique is all about creating vivid, positive images in his mind that make him associate you with possibility, adventure, and a life well lived. Here's how to do it. When you're talking about the future, whether it's tomorrow or 10 years from now, paint a picture that includes excitement and intrigue. For example, instead of saying, "I love traveling," say, "I've always wanted to explore a hidden beach where the water is so clear you can see the fish swimming under your feet." Pair this with a genuine smile and a touch of curiosity in your tone. What you're doing here is planting a seed, a vision of a future that he can't help but imagine with you. Studies from the Journal of Experimental Psychology show that humans are more emotionally connected to stories than facts. By describing vivid scenarios, you become the central character in his mental imagery, making you unforgettable. Move number 10, the magnetic pause. Have you ever noticed how powerful speakers command a room, not by talking more, but by saying less? Silence, when used correctly, can be just as seductive in relationships. The magnetic pause is about mastering the art of lingering, not just in conversation, but in how you approach connection. For instance, when he compliments you, instead of immediately saying "thank you," pause, hold his gaze, and let a smile play on your lips. Then reply with a soft, "That's sweet of you to say." The delay adds weight to the moment, making him feel like his words truly landed. This technique isn't about being aloof, it's about creating space for tension and anticipation. According to the Journal of Interpersonal Communication, pauses in interaction heighten emotional engagement because they force the other person to stay present and focused. By embracing silence, you let him lean into the connection, making it feel more intense and memorable. Move number 11, the confidence amplifier. Here's the ultimate truth. Nothing is more seductive than self-assuredness. But confidence isn't just about walking into a room with your head held high. It's about radiating a sense of purpose and contentment that draws people in naturally. To amplify your confidence, start focusing on what you love, independent of him. Whether it's a hobby, a career goal, or simply taking time for yourself, showing that you're fulfilled creates an irresistible allure. Why? Because confidence signals emotional stability, a trait that's deeply attractive to anyone seeking a meaningful connection. But here's the twist. Confidence also means embracing vulnerability. When you can own your quirks, laugh at your mistakes, and share your dreams without hesitation, you're not just confident, you're magnetic. Move number 12, the signature moment. Every unforgettable connection has a defining moment, a shared experience or gesture that lingers in the mind. The signature moment is about consciously creating that memory, something he'll replay in his head long after it happens. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be something as simple as a playful dance under the streetlights after dinner, or a quiet moment where you both watch the sunset in comfortable silence. The key is to be present and intentional, letting the moment feel unique and unscripted. Research from psychological science shows that people are more likely to form deep emotional attachments when they associate someone with a positive, meaningful experience. So next time you're together, think about how you can make the moment special, whether it's through humor, connection, or simply being unapologetically yourself. Final thought, becoming his why. Here's the ultimate takeaway. The most seductive women aren't the ones chasing validation or trying to fit a mold. They're the ones who inspire men to be better, think deeper, and feel more. When you become a woman who sparks curiosity, ignites passion, and brings out the best in him, you're not just someone he desires, you're someone he values. And that's the real goal, isn't it? To build a connection that's not just exciting but also meaningful, where he sees you not as an option but as the option. So the next time you find yourself wondering how to make a lasting impression, remember this. It's not about perfection or pretense. It's about showing up as the most dynamic, vibrant version of yourself, because that's the woman he'll never forget. Now it's your turn. Which of these moves are you most excited to try? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insights that empower you to build the relationships you deserve. Remember, the most powerful connections are built not on games or gimmicks, but on authenticity, confidence, and emotional resonance. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next video.